Hello and welcome. If you're running a multi-vendor marketplace, you've probably faced this problem. Different product categories need completely different attributes. A smartphone needs storage capacity and color, but a t-shirt needs size and fabric. If you let every vendor see every attribute for every category, the backend becomes cluttered and vendors get confused. They might even add the wrong attribute to a product, messing up your front-end filters. That's exactly what the Dokan Conditional Category Attributes plugin solves. Its core superpower is attribute mapping. With this feature, you, the store admin, decide exactly which attributes are allowed for each product category. Think of it as giving each category its own key, and that key only opens the door to the attributes it should use. In this tutorial, we'll walk through why mapping matters, how it works behind the scenes, setting up the legacy vendor UI for the best experience, actually mapping attributes step by step, the inheritance system, the handy star indicator that shows mapped categories, and finally, testing it all from a vendor's perspective. Let's dive in. Part 1: Why mapping and how it works. Let's imagine a store with two main categories, electronics and clothing. Without any restrictions, when a vendor adds a product, the attribute drop-down shows everything: processor, screen size, fabric, size, all jumbled together. That's messy. Worse, a vendor could accidentally attach a fabric attribute to a smartphone, which breaks your front-end filtering logic. Attribute mapping eliminates that problem. Here's how it works in 3 simple steps. Admin configures. When you edit any product category, you'll see a new panel called Configure Allowed Attributes. You map. Inside that panel, you pick only the attributes that belong to that category. For smartphones, you might choose brand, storage, and color. That's the mapping. Vendor side auto-applies. Once saved, vendors adding products under smartphones will only see those 3 attributes. Everything else is hidden. The result: vendors work faster, make fewer mistakes, and your product data stays clean and consistent. Note: before we start mapping, there's one important setup step. For the best, most stable experience with this mapping panel, we recommend using Dokan's legacy product editor UI. Don't worry, the plugin works with Dokan Pro, but the mapping interface is clearest and most reliable in the classic layout. You can switch back anytime. Here's how to do it. Go to WordPress Admin Dokan Settings. Click on the Appearance tab, or General in some versions. Look for the option called Vendor Dashboard Style. Select Legacy UI. Save your changes. Remember, this affects the entire vendor dashboard, not just the product editor. Once you're comfortable with the mapping process, you can switch back to the new UI if you prefer. Now that our UI is set, let's get our hands dirty and map some attributes. Alright, let's map some attributes to a real category. I'll use laptops as our example. Step 1: Open the category edit screen. Navigate to Products Categories and click Edit on the category you want to work with, here, laptops. Step 2: Find the mapping panel. Scroll down. You'll see a section labeled Configure Allowed Attributes, or similar. That's our command center. Inside the panel, click the Configure Allowed Attributes and Trees button. A large, visual pop-up window will appear. This is where the magic happens. Step 3: Select attributes in the pop-up. This window lists every attribute that exists in your store. There's even a search box to find them quickly. Now, simply check the attributes you want to allow for this category. For laptops, I'll pick processor, RAM, and storage. When you select or click an attribute, it expands and opens to more other settings you can configure in this page, like sub-attributes, required attribute, term level dependencies. You can also set the attribute to appear in a specific product type. But for now, let's do only a quick mapping. So let us search for processor, RAM, and storage. You'll see each selected attribute turn into a highlighted card. You can select as many as you like. Step 4: Save your mapping. Once you're happy, click the Apply Selections button at the bottom. The pop-up closes and you'll see your chosen attributes appear as small chips, tags, back in the main panel. Finally, don't forget to click Update on the Category Edit page to save everything. And that's it, you've just created your first attribute mapping. Now let's talk about a huge time saver, inheritance. Imagine you have a parent category electronics and child categories laptops, tablets, and phones. If you had to configure attributes for every single child, you'd be repeating yourself endlessly. Here's the rule: if a child category has no attributes mapped to it, it will automatically inherit the mapping from its parent. Example: you map only brand and price to the electronics parent. You do not map anything to laptops or tablets. When a vendor chooses laptops, they will see brand and price, inherited from the parent. But what if you want a child category to have its own exclusive attributes? Easy. While editing the child category, simply check the box that says Disable Inheritance from Parent Categories. Once checked, the child will stop inheriting and you can now map attributes that are unique to it, for example, screen size and battery life for tablets while laptops gets processor and RAM. This inheritance system keeps your setup dry. You configure once and let the tree do the work. Let's talk about the mapped category indicator. As your store grows, you might have dozens of categories. How can you quickly tell which ones already have mapping and which still need attention? The plugin gives you a neat visual cue. Go back to the Products Categories list. Look closely, any category that has at least one mapping, or has inheritance disabled, will have a star after its name. This small star is your I'm configured badge. With a single glance you can spot which categories are protected and which are still open. It's perfect for doing a health check on your entire store. Now let us confirm our mapping from the vendor's side. Step 1. Vendor logs in and starts adding a product. Log in as a vendor and go to the Add Product page. Selects a product name, description, and then comes the category selection. You can also use a created product by opening its editing panel. Step 2. Choose the mapped category and watch the attributes update. I'll choose laptops from the category drop-down. Watch the attribute area below, go down to Attribute section. Boom! It now shows only processor, RAM, and storage, exactly what we mapped earlier. All the other attributes are completely gone. No clutter, no confusion. Step 3. Check inheritance. Now let's check inheritance. I'll switch to gaming laptops, which we didn't configure individually. Because it inherits from its parent laptops, the same 3 attributes appear. Perfect. Step 4. Check a category without mapping. And finally, if a vendor picks a category that has no mapping at all, the attribute area will show every attribute by default. This is controlled by your plugin settings, but the mapping we just did works exactly as expected. Let's recap. Why mapping matters: keeps vendor UI clean and product data consistent. How it works: admins pick allowed attributes per category, vendors see only those. Prep work: we switched to Dokan's legacy UI for the best mapping experience. The mapping process: using the pop-up interface to select and apply attributes. Inheritance: child categories can inherit mappings from parents, saving you heaps of time. The star indicator: a quick visual clue on the categories list to see what's mapped. Testing: we verified that vendors see exactly the attributes we allowed. Attribute mapping is one of the most powerful tools you have to streamline your marketplace operations. I hope this tutorial made it crystal clear. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more marketplace tips. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.